we are live.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's version of Live with Lussetto. We've got kind of a different, what I think is going to be a special show. We're going to have a little bit of a young gun takeover from our young gun group within the Heartland division. Our Outlaw Young Guns is sponsored by Titan Tire. Jazz, you might be able to expand on that a little bit.
Titan, Goodyear. I don't know the specific, I guess.
Okay. Yep. Okay. But they've done a lot with the young gun group on the national level, and we are doing our best to bolster our group of young guns. As we've got probably, you know, how many young gun members we have within the Heartland organization, Jazz?
Within our group, I think we're about 10 to 12.
That's, you know, for a
From what
smaller
I've
group, that's a pretty strong showing. And one other thing that needs to be brought to light, we not only have pullers, but we also have 2 or 3 young guns that just are working within the organization, doing jobs, camera work to entry work to, you know, you name it, which is also something, you know, just because you don't have a pulling vehicle doesn't mean that you can't be part of the young gun program. So, you know, that's something that if there are people interested and want to be a part of it, we probably even have potentially some new tech people coming on there in Ashton that could fit in that category as well.
Yes, that would be a good area.
Yeah. So kind of how we're going to do things. I'm going to try to keep quiet a little bit, which I don't always do well. And Dan and I are going to kind of fade in the back, and make no mistake, I have some questions for a few of them. And but we're going to kind of let Jazz, who I guess now has become an old lady, has timed out of the young gun program. But she was a part of for the last couple of years. So Jazz, if you want to take over and get everybody on board.
Did you have any announcements before we jump into that?
Listen to me. I told Jazz right before we come on the show, I got 2 or 3 things and just completely forgot about it. We are really excited to announce that we are going to have the Heartland Light Limited Pro. It'll be an Heartland East hook. We'll be hooking at the Colfax County Fair in Lee, which I'm going to struggle because I got about 3 or 4 pulls that are really special to me, and this is one of them. This pull is an absolute great time. Great fair. That community puts a ton into this pull. The other part of it is they got great facilities, and on the south side of the track is their football field. And there's just a cool vibe from the time you hit the ground there, and to the party and food afterwards is just a great environment. So we're really looking forward to hooking their Lee there is at the 19th of July on Friday night before North Platte. So no, I think that's it for the announcements. Jazz, commence.
All right, I'll add. Okay, that is everybody who got on tonight. Real quick before we get started, a couple of comments here. The young gun coats and such. The coats were something that was brought up in the national group chat that the kids kind of put together. I believe Zach, I don't know if you got a coat. That was something kind of decided right before the banquet last year, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Case and Pesh just mentioned it to me.
Okay. The jersey shirts or crew shirts, they will order every other year, and this is coming from Dave Nelson. He apologized for not getting our guys on the list last year. He said they will get us on for when they order new ones next year, and is working on getting us some of the t-shirts that they had last year. And then sounds like we may have some Titan Goodyear representatives at some of our events this year. So that is what I know from that side of things.
Quick question, Jazz. Are they going to get us t-shirts to give away?
I don't know the entirety details on those, but at some of the national polls, there was kids running around in like blue Titan Young Gun t-shirts. I think that's what he's talking about.
Okay.
And then I think it's t-shirts for them, and then I think they threw some out also.
Just FYI, we have a borrowed t-shirt gun cannon thing, which would be fun.
Yes.
If we know ahead of time, we'll make sure we get that thing ready to roll.
Yeah, I will I will pass along information as I get it. That's what I was given so far.
Awesome. Okay.
So I guess jumping into this, I thought we'd go around and start and give each person a chance to introduce themselves. Zach, since you are one of our reps, do you want to start?
I can.
Okay.
Um,
So who you are, how old you are, what you pull, how long you've been pulling, kind of a rundown of your young gun application.
okay. Zach Lussetto. I'm 16 right now. Been pulling for a year pretty much with all the sanction stuff. And then what got me started is the family. It's been in our family since the 70s, so kind of just in the blood. And then I also flag and help tech on the side too, so help work when I can and everything. So
this is okay. Is that what vehicles and what classes do you pull?
light limited mod, light limited pro, light limited super, and the big block Econo mod. Some.
Okay. Kaylee and Knowles, you guys want to go next?
Go ahead. They already know me.
My name is Knowles. I'm 17. I'm just a videographer. I just do the camera work. What started me was my Uncle Dan.
Okay. Kaylee, you still got to introduce yourself tonight.
Well, I'm Kaylee. I'm 21. I pretty much do the entries and whatever else is needed. I've been involved with pulling for about 7 years now. I don't have anything that I pull, but my Uncle John is who got me into it. So.
And you are one of our other reps on the Heartland side of things too. So, do William believe he's the other rep as well?
No, I think Byron is.
Oh, Byron is?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. My bad.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. So yeah, go ahead. How old you are, what you pull, when you got started?
I'm William Pfister. I'm 20 years old. I pull in the classic mod class, and like my dad got me started pulling, and I've been pulling for 2 years now, and this will be the 3rd year.
Okay. And Bronson.
I'm Bronson Gibbons. I pull a Pro Stock 4-wheel drive, and I'm 24, and I'm going into my 9th year pulling, and my mom and dad got me started on it.
Okay. Let's see. Going back around, what are your guys' favorite pulls, venue-wise? Anybody?
I'll say Palmer, Nebraska. That's one of my favorites.
Okay. Kaylee and Knowles?
Well, my favorite poll is my own, so.
Weird.
Fair enough.
My favorites, North Platte. It was definitely memorable.
That is for sure.
Yeah.
That is the first one that I've fought hail, let alone trying to tear down a camera and get up the stairs with it.
I think William may have just about died that day.
Bronson, your favorite venue?
My favorite venue I've pulled at is Wisner, but with Heartland, I would actually probably say Neely with the old big grandstands in the background.
Oh yeah,
That thing is awesome.
sweet.
Let's see. What's your guys' favorite thing from the Young Gun program from the 23 season? Kaylee?
We don't know.
Okay. Bronson?
I got some of those hero cards and seeing the little kids' faces when I hand them out to them. That was probably the best thing I got to see is actually see the genuine happy faces of those little kids.
Bronson, did like Titan Tire produce those for you?
Yes.
That's awesome. Okay, that's cool because that's something. Hopefully, we can visit
So
with them
that
and
was
maybe
something
get.
else that we got missed on getting everything coordinated. But Dave and I have been doing a lot of work behind the scenes to hopefully get everybody kind of on the same page this year. Like that color book that we're all getting soon. I haven't heard a date on that or anything, but thank you guys for sending your stuff in on time.
Jazz, you might let everybody know what's going on with the color book. I mean, as far as the people watching.
Oh, so yeah, Titan is covering the production of these color books that the Young Guns are in. It has like 2/3 of the page is a picture of their pulling vehicle or a picture they provided that the kids can color, and then the bottom piece will have like a kind of a hero card, so to speak, look. It'll have like the actual picture, and then the driver, vehicle, class, kind of some stats that the kids provided and stuff too. Marty Samuelson says it's great to see the young people get into the pulling. You have to have them to keep the sport going. Does Bronson still have the stuffed bear from his dad's truck?
We still do have the old Wile E. Coyote. It's looking a little rough. His ears are missing, but
I have a question about that. I brought this up to Dan earlier, Bronson. I want to know if you were older or Wile E. Coyote is older than you.
That one,
because that thing's been around for a long time.
Yeah, I would almost say probably Wiley's probably older than I am.
I remember that thing because we pulled a lot with the Nebraska State group, like 93, 4, 5 in that era, and I remember that on the old tube truck. And that thing's went down the track hanging out in the back of a pickup or in a flatbed for many years. It's made a ton of trips down the track.
I think that Wiley has more mileage than I do.
Yeah.
There is confirmation on that right there.
That's awesome. That's almost a history piece. That thing almost, I mean, that's cool.
Okay. Some of you guys sent me in some videos and stuff. So here is Bronson's pickup. And
Bronson, was this the one that your mom started pulling?
Yes. This is the one my mom used to start out.
So this thing has also been on the track for a long time as well.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna say I remember this pickup ever since I was a kid, so
yeah.
This is what the Bronco that was stretched?
Yep. We're still keeping it a Bronco. It's getting tore up right now, but it'll hopefully be together. Just waiting on parts.
Will your first hook be in Ravenna then?
Yes, that's the plan.
Okay. Going through pictures. William sent me some also. Here's his tractor. Do you want to add anything about this, William?
Zach.
You are muted.
Point
Hey, Zach, you should mute some of the kids there, bud.
I got him. Okay, go ahead, William.
That was from West Point this year.
Okay. What is your tractor,
It's a Cockshut 40 with a small block Ford in it.
and what do you call it?
One piece at a time.
Okay. Do you have a favorite hook from the 23 season?
Yeah, probably what?
Which one was it?
West Point was my favorite,
West Point?
probably.
I said there's a video, but it muted
College
you.
this week. He has 3 team members, which are his brother Byron, his dad Wayne, and his mom Susan.
Now that was Randolph, I believe.
Yep, and that was the first time I got first place.
I'm looking forward to going to Randolph and the weather conditions being normal. That I think it'd be
Not have rain for once.
improve the experience a ton, because that looks
Yes.
like it'd be a fun deal too.
Definitely.
That's what I got. Oh, here's the other one of Bronson's. It got hid in the pile. Zach,
Oh Lord.
what is your story here?
So, I don't know. I went to Burger King like 2 nights before Rock Valley, and I took a crown. And then I was like messing around, so I decided to take it. And then I was just messing around, and I went up to Jason Schultz and I asked him how much attention it would get if I put that thing on my helmet for my pass.
Because
And
that
he
was
said-
your rookie pass at Rock
That was my debut, night number 2. So
What? And I shouldn't ask this question because I should know, but was Rock Valley the first pass you made on that tractor
no,
in competition, legit competition?
yes, yes.
What a place to jump in the first time.
Yeah.
And to me, the funniest part about that whole day number 2 with the crown is my dad was actually entered on the app to drive that night. That makes it a little fun.
So everybody threw me under the bus. Appreciate that, bud.
Yes, I did.
And then there's this one. I'm gonna tell him about this one.
It's got to be brush.
Yeah, that was that brush.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. I don't know. Big block. I don't know. I don't really know much about
Big
it.
block Chevy 454,
Yeah. I kind of just got to drive it. I don't know too much about it.
cross dressed. It's an M Farmall with John Deere hoods on it. So it's
Yes. Hold on. There's. Oh. He sent one more, and I can't find it.
I think it was a turbine.
Yep. There's that one. Did you send one from Arizona with
Yeah.
it, or just okay?
No, I think just that one. I don't know.
that's
that was Wisner. So yeah.
That was a good time.
Eh.
Football game the night before, and then
You kind of made it down the track.
oh, that was Arizona right there.
Okay.
That was a fun weekend. Mhm.
Okay.
I'm going to single Knowles out for a minute. For everybody at home. Don't get nervous, Knowles. It's not that bad. Knowles is a guy behind the camera for probably 3/4 of the events. So you guys that watch on the Outlaw TV and stuff, we appreciate what he has done because he's been a steady guy that has been to a ton of polls, and that helps us out tremendously. And kind of an unsung hero for us, to be honest with you. So we
some of
appreciate
those
it, Knowles.
locations that we have to run cable and stuff. Good job. And to tear it back down.
Yeah, the cable was, I can't remember which pole it was, but when we had to tangle it through all the stands, that was
Hayes.
No, yeah,
I don't-
Hayes.
Was that
I don't believe there should have been any OSHA people around Hayes.
No,
I'll just leave it at that because
that was
sketchy at best.
Yeah. Well, and then West Point, with that northeast pole right before us, we had about 5 minutes to get everything set up, and we got everything ran, and then had the wrong roll of cable.
Oh, yep.
That is something that's going to be on the agenda for discussion. Sure that we need just a little more time because that was unfair to you guys, to be honest with you.
That was impressive, though. I mean,
You guys got it. You guys got that thing knocked out, rolled up, or unrolled and ready to go. And I think less than 15 minutes. Jason Schultz,
it was quick.
take
and-
lessons. Yeah, yeah. You guys banged it out, man. That was pretty sweet. Kaylee, were you involved in that?
No, well, yeah, but I was doing entries, so.
Okay, so you were kind of off somewhere. Okay.
Well, but between that and then I'm gonna say, because me, Kaylee, Paula, and maybe even Maya, we were handing stuff over the.
Yep.
I don't know. They have a nice little, like, 3 people can fit up there kind of thing to set up in, and
Announcer stand, yes.
we were hauling stuff up and out and getting set up. So.
Yeah.
I trying to find more of my pictures. Kaylee and Noel sent some in for the color book, but
Oh God.
my
Did you guys get in the coloring pages?
I sent them in so they could be. I'm hoping.
I hope so. That, all jokes aside, this is something I talked to Jazz about, both you two. I think it would be awesome, and maybe if we find somebody, it'd be awesome to get little cartoon character versions that could be in the coloring book, because I think that'd be cool.
Well, it'd be easier to color than like the details of a regular picture.
It's a color book. That's what it's
I
supposed
know.
to be.
That's
Yeah.
the point.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Jeez. Yes. Okay. So the eligibility to be an outlaw young gun, you have to be between the ages of 16 to 25 anytime during the current year or polling season. Be a driver of a competing vehicle or an outlaw employee, and be a paid member of the outlaw organization. So that employee piece is where we get the techs and camera guys and
Entry sled person.
yes. And Dale brings up shutting off power at West Point. That was another thing right before we went on too.
I didn't even know that.
I didn't either.
Yeah, I found out. Well, it was to the sound system or something.
Okay. One other cool thing, and I mean, this probably specifically wasn't through Heartland, but I know Zach worked with Case and Petch on a pedal pole.
Oh,
Zach,
yeah.
what was that at Red Power Roundup?
Yeah.
Okay. And
So
that was in
that's a
Grand
big
Island.
thing the national group does at their Iowa State Fair pole, is the young guns
Yes.
do that pedal pole there. So, Dwayne Pfister asks, how many of you guys hurt your polars this year, and what did you do to fix them?
Oh, Zach.
Where do we start?
Why am I getting thrown under the bus here?
Well, let's start with
Jeez.
somebody else.
Everything.
Let's start with somebody else.
It'll take me a minute.
William, let's start with you.
Well, my engine was hurting on power, so the thrust went out. The thrust bearing went out of the engine, and then we put the new engine in it before we went to Goodland, Kansas, I think it was, it'd be Fort Pierce, and then we pulled them in Pierce fine, and then we took it to Goodland, Kansas, and I shattered second gear off the line. So then we had to tear it, and then I came back and pull it in third gear. And then that next weekend we had to tear the tractor all apart and fix Well, we haven't tore the tractor apart yet, I guess. But yeah, well, we're gonna have to still.
You have new gears, I think, if
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So
that third gear ended up favoring you though the rest of the season.
Yep, that's why I went with all the year.
Yeah. Bronson, you had a couple of Band-Aids on the truck by the end of the year, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. In Rock Valley was the first place I broke. I ended up breaking the ring and pinion in like 60 foot the first night. I wasn't for sure if it broke the first time. I thought I was just bouncing, so I let out of it. And the second time it really banged when it finally went.
Finished
and
it,
then,
yeah.
And on the way down to Randolph, when it was bouncing around in the trailer, I mean, it was tied down and everything. We broke the shock mount and didn't realize it. So when I hooked up to the sled, my front tires were sitting there chattering the whole time, and I was in and out of the throttle the entire time. And we got that fixed, but luckily that's all I really broke this year. I mean, we had some Band-Aid on the body. It was looking really rough. We had some bolts in it to keep it together.
Hey, that's just part of pulling. It's just getting through the season sometimes.
Yeah.
Zach, you just start with the list, I guess.
Well, the 560, I pulled it at Guthrie Center.
Yep.
Ripped the rear end out of it, pretty much.
Yeah,
Everybody
load that in neutral.
First time pulling it, and then I get a call after from my grandpa
Who
asking
watched
me
the
why,
live stream.
who was watching the live stream, asking me why I pushed the clutch in, and I did not.
And then he got it from Dad too, because I'm like, Dad, what are you doing?
I was something all right. And then the McCormick, what did I do to it? Oh, the pulley on the front at Mitchell. Not Mitchell.
Yep.
Yeah, Mitchell.
Yeah, Mitchell, at the end of the year.
Yeah. And then we broke the steering. We snapped the steering deal trying to load it.
Yeah, that was fun.
And then the turbine, I don't know.
Turbine is still to be determined, but
That's not my fault. That's not my fault.
Yeah.
So really the big block is the only one I did not have problems with this summer.
Okay.
Let's ask you, Dad, how many motors did you blow up in your time?
Oh, we're not talking about that. This is young gun stuff tonight, bud.
What about on the way to a pull, Zach?
Oh, yeah. This is we start this story from the beginning, bud. I'm just going to sit and listen because this was great.
So, were we going to
Hayes?
Where were we yeah, we're going to Hayes.
We're going to Hayes. Oh god.
And is it you and me in the truck, Jess?
Yeah, you were
and
driving.
So I'm driving the equipment trailer, and this minivan comes up beside me and is just throwing me all sorts of hand signals. And
like
I'm
not
just
the
like,
bird, like, oh my gosh,
Yeah, I'm like, what's going on? And so I finally I was like, whatever. And I stop and pull over and I go out and look. And then there's fire coming out from the axle on the driver's side of the rear axle. I was like,
of the trailer.
And of the trailer, yeah. And so I started panicking. And it's on my dad. So I call you. And then a state trooper pulls up. And I was like, even better. And so as I'm getting a fire extinguisher out to get the fire out, state trooper pulls up and he walks up to me. He's like, what's going on? And I was like, told him. And then he was like, well, this isn't a good spot for you to be stopped. I know that. I don't have a choice, really. And so, yeah, then Dad turned around and came back and we tied the axle up and then we continued the way to the pole. And
no, we met them at.
We actually got off of the at the next off ramp and we got a tire pulled off and
it was
they continued on.
No, just had an empty parking lot type deal.
Yeah.
And then they got off and came back and then we got to the pole and the guy one of the guys helped running the pole had a welding truck and he welded the.
Well, he didn't weld it, but he actually went back and it wasn't everything perfect, but they found another hub and some other stuff and got everything fixed while we were doing the pull, which was awesome.
Yeah.
But the frantic call I got was pretty awesome because he's like, It's on fire. And I'm like, you have water fire extinguishers in the trailer. Get it now before it gets worse.
I was nervous. I was scared.
Yeah.
We also you might mention where we just about lost a set of wheels off the trailer too.
Oh, coming home from the white trailer.
Yeah, that was
We
not
parked
good.
in
Oh.
Erickson for the night and left you.
Mm-hmm.
Where were we coming home from?
Neely.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that was
And
a good
then
thing we didn't leave that trailer
started-
that we talked about.
Yeah.
Started pulling everything apart, and then found out it got worse as we dug into it.
So yeah, by the time we got the axle doctor there,
And then Grandpa came and drove home with no trailer brakes on the gooseneck.
yep. It was a rough weekend.
Got me at football practice though.
Yeah.
I was gonna say we left Zach and you there, and we headed for home to get kids
Right.
and mom back for the next
Yep.
week.
Jazz, throw it out there. Where would be a dream place for you guys to pull? And it doesn't have to be Heartland. It could be any place, any group, and also the vehicle. You know, if you could hop on
If
somebody's
you could
vehicle,
drive
what would it be?
anything, anywhere, what would you pull and where? Is the question you're talking about. Bronson?
My dream pull, dream pickup to pull, and Mom and Dad are not very happy because I switch teams and go to a Chevy.
Oh, that a kid.
I want to drive the Holman Brothers 4Play mod
man.
drive, and I'd like to actually try pull at Bowling Green once. I think that'd be a cool place to go to once.
For sure. I have to ask this question, Bronson. Were you in Rock Valley in 2020 when they showed up?
No, I didn't. Dad was actually, we were building our shop here at the house, and I found out that they were going, and the Spatanskis were up there, and I called them. I was like, "You have a spot I could stay? I really want to see this." And I got, they said they had room for me, so I asked Dad, and Dad said, "No, you need to stay and work on the shop."
Dude, okay, you know I'm a tractor guy, pretty through and through, but hands down, that's my favorite 4x4 truck.
Mm-hmm.
I was a little fanboy a little bit when that thing showed up because that was from when time I was little. That's always been my favorite truck too. That's cool.
Oh yeah, I was always so jealous because I talked to Mom and Dad about it, and they've seen it in Hildreth when they had their big pull there, and I'm jealous.
Yeah. Yep. Knowles?
I think you have him muted.
I would want to pull Dan's tractor. I mean,
oh man, he's gonna get a big head.
Yeah.
Any certain place?
No, I would anywhere would work.
Any place. Okay.
Uh-oh, pressure's on.
Yeah, there you go. Gauntlet is laid down, Dan.
Yeah.
Kaylee?
I don't know. Probably El Nino. That tractor is pretty cool.
Wow, you went
That's
big
a good
time.
one.
Yes. We do not know if Rhett's single. Maybe we should inquire. Just no comment.
Nope.
And where at?
I don't know. Wisner. I think Wisner's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
All
my
right.
pool is pretty cool, but I'd rather pull in Wisner.
Yeah. William?
I'd probably say pull and Wisner, probably. And probably pull like anything there.
Yeah. Don't say anything because pullback tractors do that. You got to get on the track, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Zach?
I don't know. I'd probably say honestly, your old Alice, the old Alice. I'd like that. I like that thing a little bit growing up. And then
I said that's
At
one I've
Lincoln.
never got to drive either.
I'm speechless. I'm
It's
almost
okay.
disappointed in you, bud.
I
Oh,
like that
I'm gonna start
tractor.
crying.
Yeah,
Hey,
no,
I'm the only one
I
that could spray the ether to get it to start.
she was very good at that. I will give you that.
But if I had to say like a real one, like present time,
Yep.
I'd probably say like My Singer's Diesel Super.
Ooh.
Well, your grandpa is just rolling over right now, going, "No red tractors were mentioned in this." Well, Jazz, we're going to throw it at you. What about you?
Probably your 560. I'll throw it back even farther.
That's another
Wow.
one. It's another good one.
Yeah, that's
Because I was a little kid and that's what I was gonna get to drive, and then somebody decided to sell it. So
He told me that same thing about the Atlas too.
yeah, well, that thing lasted like 2 years.
Dad is full of disappointments. You guys will learn this even more as it goes on.
Yeah, and where doesn't really matter, I guess, but
I'd like to go to the Cornhusker Classic in Lincoln. That's always been one of my
I would like to go back there again. I need better memories.
I need a memory.
You don't remember the last time? Are you serious?
Have any of you guys pulled indoors before? That's interesting.
Seeing some head shaking. Okay. Devin says orange is better. Zach knows what's up.
Oh, Devin. There's different levels of orange. This one wasn't exactly the coolest thing in the world. One of my favorite tractors I ever owned. Don't get me wrong, but
Dwayne says Byron and William drove to Imperial and back to a pull next day, but can't remember where.
That was for Wisner, wasn't it?
It was Imperial was right
No.
before Wisner. Didn't they drive to
Because you had to be back for school or orientation
Yeah,
or something.
I had to move into college the day before that, or that day.
yeah.
Yeah, that was a long night. I
Yeah,
think
it
I got
was.
to Wisner at 5 a.m.
I did not make it to Wisner that night, I don't think.
Then you guys make it to like Omaha.
No.
Oh, they went the
did.
wrong direction.
No.
Oh.
You know, that's bad. I don't remember where we stayed.
I didn't even get to go. I go
Well,
back
that's
Oh, there's a good
Yeah, you
question.
did.
home. No, I had to go home because then I had football game the next day
You were there.
But we
at Imperial. Yeah,
No,
we
you were
took you
at
to
Wisner.
Wisner Saturday.
Saturday.
Sherwin and me and
Yeah.
Mom. We went to
Oh,
your
you-
game in North Platte.
that was Friday night though.
Yeah, and then we
Wisner-
took you
Imperial
Saturday.
was Thursday.
Oh, so
Okay,
you went.
so you missed Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Tyler wants to know if Bronson would pull a tractor.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I like my 4-wheel drive pickups. By far a tractor I would love to sit in the seat of would be Little Temptation.
Oh,
Ooh, not a bad choice.
No.
I can honestly say I've pulled both multiple times.
Yeah. Did.
Yeah.
That's correct.
I pulled Mom's Pro Stock pickup and the diesel pickup.
you pulled diesel pickup too?
Yeah.
Tell
Sherwin
me,
and I
sir.
traded at Imperial.
Oh yeah. I thought you were talking when we owned Mike's. I was like, no, you didn't.
No.
I got a question for William. Have you driven anything besides an Economod?
No, not yet.
Are you going to put the pressure on? Like, hey, Dad,
I don't know. Maybe.
maybe.
I will say the pickups were different. Like, when I pulled the Pro Stock at Ashton, like you could feel this, like everything just like shift. Like you turn and you're just like, "Choo."
Yeah. Nice sound effects, sweetie.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I don't know. Daryl Bartel said, "What does your dad know about pulling, and are they teaching you?" I don't know if that's to somebody or everybody.
Well, I'm going to throw it out there. It's pretty interesting. If you look around, I mean, Bronson, your mom and dad have been in the sport for a heck of a long time.
I actually asked him this question today, and Dad started pulling in 83, 84 with his
Wow.
with his 79, and then he started building food truck, and then it wasn't a year and a half later, Mom pulled a Bronco when it was short.
Yeah.
Marty asked, is the tube truck still around?
Yes, it's still around. It's sitting in one of our sheds, but the power plant is in my pickup right now because we're building another motor right now, and we had to do the bunch of the body work and stuff, so that's kind of got put off to the side for right now.
Okay.
William,
do you oh, go ahead, Bronson.
I don't think it's moved since I think 2019.
Okay. William, do you know when your dad started pulling?
I don't for sure.
He also says you got plenty to choose from to drive something other than the.
Yeah, we
There you
do.
go.
There we go. We got it started.
Yep.
Started
97.
in 97.
97. Okay. I do have a question for Bronson. You said your age and then said when you started. Did you pull a year or two before you were 16?
The very first time I pulled the Bronco when I was 14, Dad rode with me beside in Amherst after the pull.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep. That was the first time that I got to pull in Bolus afterwards too.
Okay. You could have taken some lessons from Todd Nelson back in the day. I think he was 16 for 3 years in a row.
Yeah, before that I pulled on the old percentage sled with a stock pickup. Dad had me
Oh
start
my goodness. Was that like a Mason City thing?
Yes, it was Mason City, I think is when my first one was.
I've always heard about that. I've never been, but I've heard about that pull.
That's a little different going from a distance sled to a percentage sled.
Yeah. And with a pickup.
Oh yeah, with a pickup.
That's interesting.
So-
William, go ahead. Finish that
There's a
thought.
bunch of videos. Oh, Litchfield. I forgot Litchfield.
Litchfield? Okay.
Yep. And my dad, 1 year, and I think it was Litchfield, got his big jacked up 79 pickup back out and made a pass on an old percentage sled again.
Interesting. William, did you pull, or how old were you when you first pulled?
It was in 2021 was the first time I pulled, so 3 years ago, so it was probably 17.
Okay.
And that was down in Arizona, wasn't it?
Yep, it was in Arizona.
Really?
Yep.
Well, nothing like getting away from home
Yeah.
for the first pass.
Yep.
No witnesses.
Nope.
Yeah.
No, Zach, I think you and Jazz both got to drive the turbine when you were
I was
underage
14.
once.
I was 14 when I drove it at Mitchell.
I think Jazz was the same at Bridgeport that time, correct?
Yeah.
I had a complete pass though.
Oh, okay. Roll my
And I had a broken wrist too.
Well, you were healing from the broken wrist.
Just saying. Just saying.
Shots fired.
Yeah. Kaylee, are you what's it going to take to get, we're going to work on Uncle John. He doubled his hook count last year. We're going to try that one more time and maybe to see if you can drive. Has that been a goal?
Yeah, we're working on it.
Do you need help?
A lot.
All right, Dan, you got a job.
I keep telling him I got room in my trailer, so
Every time he says it, I'm going to start making him sign a paper that says he said it.
And Knowles, we're going to help you out too. We'll work on somebody else too.
all right.
Oh,
What is that, Jazz?
um,
Do I want to know?
Wayne says it scared him shitless when he turned it sideways on the track, and Dave Mink made him pull right back out on the track and do it again.
Yep.
You learn that way.
Thanks, Dad. Yeah.
I was like, going straight does not. Those are not
Oh,
the
Jazz.
hooks you remember. What?
Byers, Colorado.
I
Oh,
wasn't going to that one, but yeah, that's what I was.
is that
gonna
when
say.
she pulled the McCormick?
No.
No.
Wouldn't you?
Oh, that
Wait a
the McCormick was in Keensburg, I believe.
She put the turbine almost over the berm at Byers that day.
I did that with McCormick. Kind of.
Yeah, but then we were somewhere, and I don't remember where, it got a little sideways. And then the next time, Mike Schubert told me not to let out of it. So I didn't let out of it,
Good old
and
Mike.
I got stuck at the end of the track.
Yeah. Mike had a few wild rides himself, and most of them were, I'm not saying self-inflicted. I'll never forget one pass. I think it might even have been at Valentine where he used both sides of the track on purpose.
Yeah.
He used the first 100 feet and then literally just made a 30-degree to the opposite side of the track driving around holes as only Mike could do.
Yeah. Like I said, if you go down the track straight, you don't always remember that hook.
Yeah.
They're the boring ones.
I'm gonna ask this, go around. Bronson, you got any goals for the 24 season?
Oh, I just try to compete a little bit. Just kind of like we normally do. Have fun is the main one.
Yes. William?
Probably not break anything. Keep the tractor together all season.
Yeah. Knowles or Kaylee, any goals besides driving?
I don't got any.
Survived the long summer.
Survive being with Dan.
I think Dan's goal is probably to get some guys trained in driving the truck so he can sleep a little bit in between.
I think it could be done this summer.
It could be done. Zach, what about you? Goals for the summer?
I might have to agree with William a little bit. Not breaking as much things.
Maybe just get the 560 down the track once and off without breaking it. That'd be.
Hey,
No,
I need another chance then.
Stay out of the shop for a season.
It hasn't been in the shop yet.
Yeah. Well, we have worked on that. We have worked on that tractor a lot in the last couple of years, but that's all right.
Yeah.
It'll be back out.
I don't know. Kind of I'd say, like, help get our program out there more. Our young gun program out there more. Promoted more.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Jeff says Kaylee needs to learn how to drive the toter.
You want us to arrive alive? I suggest not.
No, you drove it in Arizona.
Yeah.
I thought she drove it on the way to Wisner just a little bit.
No.
No.
She was just
trying
keeping
to
you.
sleep, and someone kept yelling at me because I was trying to sleep.
I need somebody to keep me awake.
All right.
Oh.
Well, you got anything else, Jazz, or anybody?
Not that I know of.
I will say one thing. Let's work on those hero cards for the Heartland guys. I think that would be great. We'll talk to Dave, or have you talk to Dave, and if they don't do it, if they're not gearing up this year, we might even take a look at it ourselves. I think that'd be a neat thing.
Tyler says Kaylee needs to learn to drive the Red Raider or the Wanted. Dale says we need to do a young gun thing at each poll with the kids at the poll. So that helps on, your guys' part, just being active in our group chat or keeping that communication flowing. And I'm working with Dave and kind of bridging that gap to figure out the resources we need to carry out the ideas that you guys have. So,
and I will add one thing.
If you guys have an idea, feel free to share it. We don't have to wait till.
Please bring some stuff forward if you guys have ideas or plans. We would love to help. And I'm sure that will speak for Dave, Kurt, and everybody else too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. Well, and I guess, Jazz, if you have anything else, we might call it a night.